7,000 pounds when he's fully grown. And they are hungry hippos. Now the food that they're getting today is just a snack for them. They get plenty of hay and pellets in their barn. Out in the wild in Africa, they eat primarily grass and hay. They are nocturnal grazers since Africa is such a warm climate. They spend most of their day in the water and most of their night outside eating. Hippos are well adapted to life in water. In fact, despite the fact that hippopotamus translates to water horse, they are actually far more closely related to whales and porpoises than they are to any land mammal.
So cool.
They have many adaptations that make them suitable for life in the water. For example, you can see they have their ears, eyes, and noses all on one flat plane on top of their head. That way they can go underneath the water and only have the important part sticking up above the surface. May seem silly, but imagine that in a patch of lilies or something. Great way of camouflage to sneak up on, ducks that they like to chase around. They are, however, vegetarians, which is why they love this snack of fruits and veggies. They also have an extra thick layer of fat around their bodies to help regulate temperatures. And if you look behind their ears, they have those reddish patches. And that is what we refer to as a blood sweat. But it's not actually blood. It is actually a combination of moisturizer, sunscreen, and antibiotic. Drooly today, are we?
Antibiotic.
And that moisturizer and sunscreen helps to keep their skin nice and soft and dry, and that antibiotic property helps protect them because notice that they do everything in the water, so there's some bacteria in there they wouldn't necessarily want getting into cuts and scrapes. Despite the fact that they look super cute and cuddly, hippos are actually extremely dangerous animals. In fact, hippos account for more deaths for humans than both lions and crocodiles combined in Africa. This is because people think, oh, look at the cute cuddly hippo. I will run up to the hippo and pet the hippo and then run away and it can't catch me. Not so much. Hippos can actually run as fast as a horse when properly motivated. They are also extremely territorial. Note that we are staying behind our fence and Nick is staying behind his. That is because the hippos know exactly where they are allowed to be, where the general public is allowed to be, and where the keepers are allowed to be. And crossing any of those lines is never a good idea. Hippos also have extremely sharp teeth. Next time they open their mouth, look at those big tusks right in front. They have those tusks whittled down to a razor-sharp point in the way that their teeth rub against each other. They will use those teeth to fight for dominance. Males will have displays where they open their mouth as far as they can to show off how big their mouth is and how much they can bite. But not our hippos. Our hippos are just little and cute.
These are juveniles, I think, right?
Yeah, she said they'd get bigger.
Out in the wild, hippo territory is decreasing slightly due to poaching. They are poached for those tusks, so make sure that you never buy anything that is made out of hippo ivory. Even if it's labeled as antique or bone carving, those are just ways that smugglers manage to get it into the country. If you have any more questions about our hippos or hippos in general or anything at the zoo, Nick and I will be around for a few minutes to answer them. Otherwise, we highly encourage you to do some research on your own. Donating to conservation efforts is always appreciated. And of course, live an environmentally friendly lifestyle and reduce, reuse, and recycle. Thank you very much for coming and enjoy the rest of your day at the zoo.